The Boston Bruins have made some shocking moves as their final cuts have been made, their final roster has been secured, and now all we have left is game one of the regular season. We're going to be taking a look at the moves they've made, where this roster may go wrong in some spots, as well as the game one look ahead, and the reasons that it may be postponed. So you're going to want to stick around to find out, with all this stuff, what has to go on for the foreseeable few days, I guess we could say, with the Boston Bruins. Before we get into it, though, however, make sure to follow the new Bruins Digest Instagram. We're going to be giving you guys updates on there as well now. So if you're looking for a spot to get all of your Boston Bruins news on Instagram as well, make sure to hit the follow button on this one. It's going to be a lot of the same kind of screenshots and stuff you see here, so you will not miss a tap of Boston Bruins news if you can't get to a video in time. So make sure to go and follow that account. But without any further ado, let's get into our first topic here, which is the final roster changes. Now, as I mentioned, there are a few that are pretty guaranteed that we knew were going to happen. However, there were also a few that a lot of people were questioning why this move was made instead of some other ones that we knew could have made an immediate impact on this team. So I will pull up the graphic here right now of the forwards, the defense, and the goalies that have officially made the NHL roster for opening day. So as you see, I'm not going to read all of these, but we see Cole Koepke. I thought he played very good in the preseason. I think that he deserves a spot. A very quick player, a very skilled player. Definitely give him a crack here to start this season. As you see, the asterisk by Matt Poitras. He is starting the season on the IR. So he's going to be day-to-day is what we're seeing right now. But very unfortunate that he could not start the season with the team as, going into the first game on the ice. And he'll be healthy. He'll be here. He has a spot secured. So it's not like when he gets back healthy, he'll be going down. He's going to be on this roster for the time being. Another one, Riley Tufte. We've discussed him here as well. Very good. Very, very good player, but I don't think that he should be on this roster just yet. I think that his role, his position on this team right now should be more of a top-tier call-up at this point. He was pretty slow and just wasn't really up to the NHL level in my mind just yet. So that right there was really one point of a concern there that I saw from this roster. Really the only point of concern when we do have some other players that could easily make this roster. So I think that Riley Tufte is more so right now a placeholder. See who else can kind of get going in the AHL, as well as another player that we haven't spoken about on the PTO, Tyler Johnson. He's not on this list. So we're not seeing him being released from a PTO. The Bruins have not said anything yet. In my mind, he is filling that spot for Tyler Johnson at this very moment, and they kind of want to give him just a few more days, a few more practice to see if he can really get this going. I think that Tyler Johnson will make this lineup. I think that he played very, very well in the preseason, and I think that his spot on this team is all but guaranteed at this point. But as we move down to the defensemen, Ian Mitchell, Alec Regula, both are going to be starting the season on the IR. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as what we've seen last year, excluding, of course, Nikita Zadorov, who we acquired in the offseason, and now Swayman's back on this roster. So we're pretty good here on this stuff now. I think that the team that we have brought up is just about ready to go. And obviously, depends if the game tomorrow, Tuesday, October 8th, is going ahead, and I will be touching on that a bit later. Some weather-related events, so stick around. We're going to be talking about that and what could be going on in those scenarios. But we move on to our next screenshot here. As you see, Brandon Bussi has cleared waivers. Jiri Patera going to the Vancouver Canucks. I should say going back to the Vancouver Canucks, which we kind of all expected. We knew that if Patera was going back on waivers, which he would have had to get sent down to the Providence Bruins, that he was going to be claimed. There was no way he was getting down to the AHL. So this is a move that we all expected, that we knew was going to happen as long as he went on waivers. So his Boston Bruins tenure for 4 or 5 days was pretty good. But the main one here that I'm very excited to be able to see is Brandon Bussi. He's cleared waivers. He is back down with Providence now. A move that I really didn't expect to see, that we were going to see Brandon Bussi still with the Bruins after 2:30 Newfoundland time, 1 o'clock today, with the new the new waiver claims and whatnot coming out. So very happy to be able to see that. Very happy that we actually have him back on this roster. I think he's going to be the next Bruins goalie to be in the NHL. If Jonas Korpisalo does get traded at any point, but still not this season. That's not going to happen, but we never know when a goalie could get injured, and we hope we don't see that. But to move on to our next screenshot here, this is a very big one. A very, very big one. Connor Ryan tweeted from Jim McBride. Bruins coach Jim Montgomery leaves the open possibility that Jeremy Swayman could start Tuesday night, as of right now, versus the Panthers. Now, this really came out of nowhere. We've seen today that Swayman was on the ice for quite a while in the net with Joonas Korpisalo, and we had heard everything that Korpisalo, no matter what, is going to be the Game 1 starter. Now, we're going back on this, saying that Jeremy Swayman could be in net, but in my mind, I still don't think that this will be the case. I think we're going to still see Joonas Korpisalo. He'll be in the net, and I think they're starting the mind games early against the Florida Panthers, and kind of letting them know that, hey, might not be Joonas Korpisalo, could be Jeremy Swayman. But I still think that Swayman has some work to go. And I also think the Bruins didn't really know if Swayman was going to be on the ice while he was holding out of his contract, which he was with the Boston University Terriers. So we have some very good news here, knowing that Swayman could be in net on Tuesday. Either goalie I would be happy with, but having this ready now that Swayman could be out there, I think is a very big update, a very big bit of news that we know we can see be good, be early. He can be good for the next few beginning of games, the next few games of the season. So that is a very, very big, exciting part. But as I mentioned, Tyler Johnson not on the opening night roster, not released from a PTO. Here's what Ty Anderson had to say. No official announcement from the Bruins that Tyler Johnson has been released from his PTO, so you might be looking at a Heinen 2.0 situation with him. And I really do I hope this is the case. Really big on Tyler Johnson this preseason. He played very good. I think he's deserving of a roster spot. The way he played last year in Chicago with nobody around him, and the way he can play this year at, let be a limited role, I think he's still going to be a very talented player even at his age, and he'll be ready to go with this Bruins team, I have no doubt. So maybe that's what we see with Riley Tufte going down, just kind of a spot holder right now for Tyler Johnson. I do hope that is the case. So we had a whole bunch of updates ahead of the Wednesday night game, or the Tuesday night's game, for the Boston Bruins. However, we might not see this game Tuesday, and here's our second update of the video. This game may be postponed with the hurricane that is set to go through Florida, which, of course, if that is going to be postponed, it's the right move. We want everybody to stay safe. If you're watching this from Florida and you're in that area, stay safe, follow your guidelines, watch the news, do anything you can to stay, just stay safe. And whatever is being recommended, I'm not going to say do it or not, but I very much suggest if you have to evacuate. And make sure, all of you guys, if you're in the path of the hurricane, stay safe, because we know this time of year is very rough. But this is what we have for the game right now. As you can see, Adam Schefter from the NFL's his news section is posting about the hurricane there on the bottom with Tampa, the Buccaneers, New Orleans teams. And this is what Connor Ryan had to say. The Bruins are in Fort Lauderdale right now and will practice there this afternoon, which they did. They practiced here, and all things were still a go from what we're hearing. But still wouldn't be surprised if the NHL weighs postponing tomorrow's season opener. And I think that would probably be a good idea. Now, we're not going to be in Tampa. We're in Sunrise. So I'm not sure exactly if this is out of the path of this hurricane, if this is going to be in the zone of, or the path of where the hurricane is following through. But either way, even if it's not in the direct path, you're still going to have some pretty nasty weather. And I think that, the safest thing to do, if the Bruins and the Panthers postpone this game themselves, if they want to postpone, if the NHL postpones it, you can't be mad at it. You have to, I think it'll be a good idea, So just a heads up for tomorrow, if this game does not go ahead, this is why. And if this does happen, for the opening night roster, which could be a different game, we could see a different roster. For example, we could see Tyler Johnson and we could see Jeremy Swayman for sure starting. So this will dictate some moves that the Bruins make ahead of their actual first game if this is not going ahead tomorrow. So I'll be keeping you guys updated with all of the news here. Make sure to hit the sub button so you don't miss out on any of it. Hit the bell as well so you get all of this news as soon as possible. But I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.